Dream Emulator does not begin with a premise. It does not explain who you are. It does not explain where you are. It does not explain why anything is happening. You simply fall asleep, and when you wake up, the world has already decided what it wants to show you. Dream Emulator was released in Japan in 1998 as a PlayStation title that barely resembles a game in the traditional sense. There are no objectives, no enemies, no puzzles, no failure state. Instead, the entire experience is structured as a sequence of dreams. Each time you play, you enter a first-person environment that feels incomplete, unstable, and only loosely coherent. You walk, you look, you exist, and eventually the dream ends. Then another begins. What makes this different from abstract experimentation is its source. The environments, events, and imagery were derived from a real dream diary kept over many years by a member of the development team. The game is not simulating dreams in the abstract. It is reconstructing one person's subconscious. That distinction matters because dreams do not behave like stories. Each session in Dream Emulator lasts a fixed amount of time. You might start in a quiet village, or a city block, or a hallway that leads nowhere. You are free to wander, but interaction is minimal. The most important action is collision. When you touch a wall, a person, an object, the world often collapses instantly, transporting you to a completely different scene. This is not random in the way games are random. It is associative. One image leads to another, without logic, without explanation, without apology. The game does not tell you what matters. It does not highlight points of interest. It does not guide your attention. You are left to do what the human brain always does in a dream: search for meaning where none is guaranteed. After each dream ends, you wake up to a simple menu. A record of what you experienced is logged, not in words, but on an abstract graph, measuring emotional and kinetic qualities. You are never told exactly what the data means, but something changes. As days pass, textures begin to distort, colors shift, images bleed into one another. The familiar becomes unstable. The longer you play, the less grounded the world feels. This is not progression in the usual sense. It is accumulation. The game behaves as if it remembers your dreams and reacts to them, like a mind slowly unraveling as it turns inward. Dream Emulator contains no combat, no enemies, but it is not safe. Occasionally, a gray, featureless figure appears. It does not attack, it does not chase, it does not acknowledge you. If you approach it, something subtle breaks. Features disappear, records stop updating, systems fail quietly. The figure is never explained. It does not represent danger in the way games usually define it. Instead, it feels like a presence that should not be noticed. Something that exists only as long as you do not look too closely, which is how fear often works in dreams. The audio design of Dream Emulator avoids melody almost entirely. Instead, it uses fragments, short loops, ambient pulses, electronic textures that fade in and out without warning. The music does not underscore emotion, it interrupts it. Sometimes it comforts, sometimes it destabilizes, and sometimes it cuts out completely, just like dreams. Sound in this game is not meant to be remembered, it's meant to pass through you. Dream Emulator spans exactly 365 in-game days. Dream Emulator was not successful when it released. It confused players, it rejected genre, it refused clarity, and yet decades later it feels more relevant than ever, not because it predicted anything, but because it preserved something that we have lost, a time when digital spaces were not optimized, when interaction did not demand productivity, when meaning was optional. Dream Emulator does not ask you to win, it asks you to experience. And then it asks you to sit with what you experienced, without interpretation, without validation, and without explanation, which is the closest any game has come to recreating what dreams actually are.